everybody. Hope you're all doing well and splendid, and hopefully something good is going on for you. And hopefully you got something to look forward to. Everybody out there, hopefully your wildest dreams are coming true. I hope and pray every day for you. But I've been hoping and praying for Josh Abrams, our boy over at Accountability for All. You know, the guy that I ain't gonna say he saved my life. I'm not gonna say that. That's a bit over the top. But you know, he definitely had a great impact on my life, or has a great impact on my life, I should say, because he's still alive, guys. Josh Abrams, Accountability for All. He's still kicking. Excuse me. So, you know, he's still kicking. I don't want to get into too much of it. I don't know a whole lot, but apparently there was some sort of surgery, some major surgery of sorts. Apparently his clitoris had exploded or something, and he had to get it reattached or something. I don't know exactly, but something along those lines. Hee ha ha. But yeah, I just got confirmation from him yesterday. He's fine. He's still kicking. And yeah, so good news. Our boy is still around, and glad to hear it. Because I was getting a little worried there for a minute, guys. I'll be honest. I had reached out more than a couple times. I think I reached out about 3 or 4 times. I just kind of stopped hearing from him. You know, after, I don't know when it was exactly, but I just kind of stopped hearing from him, and, you know, figured, you know, holidays, family, kiddos, the whole 9 yards. So, yeah, I'm not really the type of person to, you know, try to press the issue when it comes to, like, you know, my friendships and, you know, people in my life. You know, I realize that at certain points in pretty much anybody's life, right, you're going to go through a period where you just kind of want to take a hiatus. You just kind of want to, you know, chill, right? And I get it, right? Sometimes people can be very annoying. Sometimes people can be very, stressful. They can be a source of stress. So, you know, I'll never criticize or really question somebody who takes some time away from, you know, the society, right? If you take time away from your friends or family to focus on yourself or your immediate family, or, you know, something that's important to you, then, you know, that's, it's important, right? It's important to get your alone time sometimes, and it's important, right? So, definitely not mad at him. Just happy he's all right, you know. But yeah, major surgery. Had his clit operated on, or he was taking too many double-decker dildos in the butthole and, you know, ruptured his colon or something. I don't know exactly, but I'll let him give you the gory details. But he 2 thumbs up. So surgery went well, and now we're trying to probe. No pun intended, but we're trying to probe into why was the man gone so long? Where was he at? You know, we got so many questions, but that's all right though. We'll get our questions answered hopefully at a later time. But let me get this gas real quick. I gotta pump some gas here. I gotta give me about, I don't know, probably about 25 in gas ought to do her. 25 in gas ought to do her. Sorry, pump out, huh? Damn, all these pumps out? Every fucking pump, huh? What the fuck is this? Can't even get gas, man. What the fuck? God damn, man. A lot of gas. What kind of shit is this, man? Oh, guess we're not getting gas here, guys. I thought I was gonna get me a deal today. I thought, man, $3.17 for a gallon. I'm fucking nigger rich today, right? That's what I thought. Well, I'm not nigger rich today, baby. I'm poor now. So that's all right. I mean, it's not, but what am I gonna do? I can't break into the gas station and have them, give me some gas. But it looks like they're, trying to refill or whatever. I don't know. I don't fucking know, guys. I just report the news. I don't make the news. I don't create the news. I don't fucking do any of that. I report the news, right, when I see it. And then I get all over the ground and all that good stuff. So, it happens sometimes. It happens. But yeah, we're back. We're live. We're back. We are back. But, yeah, I mean, let's see. We got the FOIA lawsuit. We've submitted our response to that. The city of Wayne really wants to get everything dismissed. They're really, really going out of their way to try to avoid the merits of the issues. Throughout all of these lawsuits, right? All these motions, all these requests. They don't really, as far as I can tell, the city of Wayne has never really refuted anything that I've said based on the merits, right? There's nothing that's ever really been refuted. The only thing that's ever really been refuted, the only thing the city of Wayne's ever really done in response to these motions is they just try to get them dismissed, right? They just kind of look for any bullshit that they can, and they're more focused on the technicalities and formatting and that sort of shit, right? They're not at all interested in discussing the merits of the substance of the issues, right? Which is for obvious reasons, right? We understand very well why they don't want to address any of these issues that they brought upon themselves, right? And myself, they brought it upon me, right? Because I'm forced to address them and deal with them. But the city of Wayne really brought most of this upon themselves. So I don't know. Sympathy. Do I have sympathy? I mean, I have sympathy towards anyone and everyone who bites off more than they can chew, I guess. But it's getting to the point where it's hard to call it accidental. It's really hard to claim that all of this is just some big old accident. You know what I mean? So that's kind of where we're at with it. I just don't see a good argument that they can make, and that's probably the reason why they choose to try to get lawsuits dismissed before they have to talk about the merits of the issues, because the merits of the issues really aren't up for discussion. I mean, the facts are so on my side that I get why they do what they do. Let me just put it that way. Right, ladies and gents, boys and girls. Still here with you. Just finishing up a little bit of pumping this gas here. And then, yeah, I mean, I gotta show you guys a couple things real quick. I found some interesting things. Doing a little search through town yesterday. I wouldn't call it a search, right? I happened to go through town yesterday and saw some things that I wanted to point out to you guys, so I'll show you after I get this gas pumped here. Slow ass pumps though, I will say. These are some slow ass pumps. Slow ass pumps, but can't have it all, guys. We're almost to a full tank. Not quite, just under. But it's all good. Come on, give me up one more. Let's go. Come on. There it goes. We did it, guys. All right. We are back, everybody. So let me show you what I saw, because these are hard to ignore. Let me just put it that way. Let me show you guys something real quick, though. I want to show you something that I found on my little patrol yesterday. I found a little something. I wanted to cue you guys in on something here. So obviously, as I said previously, our boy Josh Abrams, he's good to go. He's fine. He's kicking. He's doing all that good shit. So we're very excited about that, of course, because, Josh Abrams is my hero, right? He is my motivation. We've had a lot of kinky hot sex together, and, I would hate for that to come to an end, prematurely. No pun intended either. No pun intended, but yeah, I'm glad he's okay. All seriousness in me. And I know I like to fuck around, make jokes, and all that, but yeah. So here's the signs for the church here, right? They got some new St. Mary's car food show, whatever. So we got all those signs. As you can see, there's 3. Here's 4, right? There's the 4th one right there. But let me show you what I found. I found this very interesting, right? So this is US 12, right? This is a restaurant in Wayne. And you'll see it, right? Like you see those signs right there, right? You see those 2, then you see these 3, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 signs right there in front of that restaurant. And it's plastic material, right? Obviously. And that material is banned, right? So the city of Wayne claims that material is outlawed, while at the same time, not only does the city of Wayne have Downtown Development Authority signs that were made, same material as mine, of course. With the Downtown Development Authority regularly places those signs out there, while telling the federal court that material is outlawed. So they're using the same material that they're claiming you can't use. So more rules for thee, but not for me. But then I noticed John Gochi over there, right, having his 12 or so signs, and I thought that's kind of interesting, That's kind of interesting that, well, that would be allowable, right? Which it's not, of course. You're allowed to have, I believe, maximally, according to their bullshit ordinance, I think you're allowed 2 signs, period. And so you're definitely not allowed more than 2. 3 or more, that's when, you start going, because you're paying for a permit. You're supposed to pay for a permit for every single sign. So I'm like, well, damn. I mean, that's a lot of money, guys. I mean, that's a lot of money. Every what is it? Every 3 months, I think it is, or every month. I'm not sure. But yeah, you're going to be spending a lot of money, right? Regardless. And there gets a point to where you can't even have more than 2 signs. So, having 11 or 12 in one piece of property, it's questionable. Let me put it that way. Not that I give a fuck. Let me make myself very clear. I don't give a fuck what people do. But when I'm being punished for doing the same things that other people are doing, yeah, I take offense to that. I have a little issue with that. So, just something I noticed, right? John Gochi can put as many signs as he wants in front of his restaurant. But that's, of course, where they get drunk, and that's his bar, and, all that. So, that's obviously. But I want to show you this other one, right? So, remember, the city of Wayne claims that you can't, what do they claim? You can't park in the grass, right? That parking in the grass in the city of Wayne is it's strictly forbidden. Well, let's check this out. Let's see. So we're in Wayne. We're on Newburgh Road right now. And I wanted to show you this shit, guys. I wanted to show you this right here. Right? So obviously all those cars parked in the grass there, right? I mean, look at this shit. Quite an extensive get together there, right? So all those cars parked in the grass, as you can see, which of course, listen, we're all for people having fun, right? But when I can't even park a car on a limestone pad in my front yard here, right over here, right, just block, houses away, I live right over there. Yeah, I take offense to that, right? When I can't park a vehicle in my limestone, right, without having to worry about having my car towed, but then you can have over a dozen people parked all over a motherfucker's front yard, on hills, everything. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, sorry guys, but yeah, can't really ignore that, right? I mean, I could if I was not being held to a different standard as everybody else, obviously, then I wouldn't have so much of an issue, and I'd be more inclined to let things go. But given the fact that there's clear and undeniable, unmistakable evidence, right, that it's just out in the open here. Yeah, I take a bit of offense to it, guys. I'll be honest with you. I take a little bit of offense to it. Yeah. So maybe that's a flaw that I have that I must work on with myself. But yeah, that's definitely a couple dozen cars parked in a person's front yard, driveway, hill, road, everywhere. I mean, anywhere you can park, they're parking. Which of course, normally I don't give a fuck. Right? But when the rules are being unequally enforced against me, while other people that are violating the rules much worse than me, let's just be honest here, people are looking the other way. I don't know. Something about that just don't rub me the right way, right? They don't tickle my fancy the way I'd like it to. So I don't know. Need some consistency. Is what I'm trying to say, guys. We need some consistency in our enforcement, right? We need our consistency. Like I said, 14th Amendment's very clear, equal protection under the law, all that sort of good shit. And what does that mean exactly? What does it mean, equal protection under the law? Well, it's a pretty simple concept, as it, clearly states. But let me give you like a little example, right? So essentially, the 14th Amendment, equal protection under the law, it's very simple. Basically, the law has to be applied equally or equitably, I guess. But they have to be enforced, not equitably. I know, let me take that back. Because if you equitably apply a law, then that means like, oh, hey, you know, these persons are more likely to get in trouble, these persons are less likely, so we're going to base our enforcement on that. Well, that's illegal, right? You're picking and choosing. You can't be selective, right? You can't decide who's deserving of protection or enforcement and who's not, right? You can't play God, in other words. So the 14th Amendment, if you want to enforce the law as it's written, then you have to enforce it equally, impartially, every single time, right? So there can't be any like wiggle room, right? There can't be any discretion, right, with the 14th Amendment. Either you're going to enforce the law in its entirety how it's written, or you don't enforce it at all, right? But there has to be a consistency to it. There can't be anything arbitrary or vague or capricious, you know, discretionary. You can't have that, right? It has to be equal protection under the law. So if you have an ordinance that you passed and you want to enforce said ordinance against the populace, well, you have to enforce said ordinance against everybody equally, right? There can't be any picking and choosing. There can't be, well, this guy's allowed to have his signs out and violate the ordinance, but this guy's not. Can't have that. Cannot have it. So we're just looking for consistency, guys. If McFarlin can't have signs in his yard without, you know, triggering building code enforcement, right, and getting letters in the mail from building officials, then, you know, can't have John Gochi out with his 12 or 13 signs out in front of his business, right, plus the ones behind the business. So I mean, we're talking like 15 signs here. Of course, the same, you know, similar plastic material, right? It might not be identical, but it's still a plastic substrate, clear as day. And it's forbidden according to the ordinance. So we're going to be not only documenting that, but we're going to be turning it into the building office. We're going to be making a record of it that, hey, you know, this is obviously on a main road. You can't miss it. And clearly you guys are allowing this ordinance to be violated. And I know there's no permits for these signs. And you can't even have that many permits, right? You're allowed 2 signs for a commercial building, right? Or a residential building, multi-unit, multi-family, right? So definitely nothing that says you can have 11 or 15 signs or however many you want. Which, of course, I don't care. But I care that there's, you know, the selectiveness about it. I care about the vagueness, the arbitrariness of the enforcement, right? Or lack of enforcement. Yeah, that's what I'm concerned about. And then, of course, you know, if I can't park a car in my limestone in front of my driveway so I can safely enter and exit my vehicle, then I'm going to need an explanation for, you know, those dozens of cars parked on those lawns and hills and grass and gravel and everything else, right? I'm going to need an explanation as to why that's okay, but what I do is not okay. I need to figure it out, but figuring it out, we will figure it out, guys, and we'll get back to you with the answers. But I hope you guys have